You just gotta look at the front half of this and look at the potential. Now I'm gonna cut it off. That's the dually flare right there. Yeah, I don't know how much they're gonna try to charge you for it because we're on the back corner of the yard right now, and this is their truck that blocks it from, I guess, the new inventory coming in. So it took us about 20 minutes talking and figuring it out. They finally said that, yeah, we could get them. They charge $80 for fenders, but they might, I'll pay $100 a piece for them. They're not in great shape, but they're not in horrible shape. You could probably beat them out, which there's not much beating out. You're gonna have to beat out right here. That's about the most. The other fender's in way better shape. It's got a dent like right here on the front. But again, you cut them in half right in the middle of the tire and you put them together. So you just need to make sure this side over here is good. So in more than one way, I'm gonna stop making the same mistakes. First mistake is the Amazon microphones. They're not good. And next, in the junkyard, you probably saw that I got the fenders. I think that we recorded a little bit in the junkyard whenever I was taking the fenders off. My little brother had to leave. Me and my boy were over there and we got these fenders off of that F500, or it was actually F700, but same thing. I got them off. After that, I mean, it took us like 4 or 5 hours. Every clip was broke. Every clip was rusted. So I decided that I would go ahead and cut them. I cut them extra long. They're not going to be this long when they're put together. It'll be shorter than this when it's put together. I cut extra length out of it just so that I can get permanent measurements, like good measurements, before I cut again. This was just a quick and dirty, get those ends off. And on the back side of these, what I have to do next is trim all this bracing on the inside, and this will have to get cut down. But I think what I'm gonna do first, I can go ahead and cut this back brace out. Before I trim the lip and clean it all up, well, clean up like the way it's gonna be on the truck. Since there's only 2 of them, I think what we might end up doing is cleaning it up, spraying it out, and maybe fiberglassing the other one, or using this as a mold to make fiberglass fenders out of later. I'm not sure. I don't know anything about fiberglass. I still have the other spray foam fender in there that I was working on, but I found these for a steal. They were like 80 bucks a fender. You can't find them that cheap anywhere else. This is probably gonna be bad lighting, but the old Danger Ranger's radiator developed a hole in it. And also this transmission line, the cooler line, it had broke when Timbo was trying to take it up. So I'm gonna check it out. I don't know where he's at or what he's doing right now, but he asked me to look at it. He should have a new cooler line I gotta find and get the radiator back in. So I'm gonna get the parts together and see if we can't help him knock this out and get the truck back on the road. This audio is probably gonna be chopped. I got the microphone in a non-windy, not on me location. Hopefully it's not too loud. I tried to film an intro to this last night. The Ranger is down. It needs a radiator, and also taking the transmission lines off. One of the lines broke up here at the top. We got the old line out. This transmission line broke. I tried to record last night. It was dark. So they broke the line trying to get it out. I snaked it out last night. We got a new transmission line. I got to try to snake it back in. Essentially going to have to take the motor mount loose, get the wheels off. It was easier to get everything. Probably going to have to take the motor mount loose and jack the motor up or something. Probably just time lapse. Well, the hose is ran. It's not hooked up. It's humid out here right now, and I'm getting more irritated than I should be. The hose is like, it's got to go a certain way over in the middle and then a certain way over at the end. And if you have one wrong, it's wanting me to take the whole hose back out so that I can get it to line up. And it's really frustrating because it's not like you can just take it out and put it back in. It's quite a process. So I don't think I knew what I was offering to help with whenever I got involved with this. It's just transmission lines, but they ran them down the wrong side of the truck. I mean, they didn't, but if it would have been on the driver's side, it would have been so much easier. You don't have exhaust to take off. You don't have motor mounts. You don't have oil filter. You don't have just everything in your way to replace it. It's in there. It's lined up. I don't know what I'm going to have to do to get it to thread in, because I'm about this far off from it actually going into where it needs to thread in at, and I don't want pressure on it. It's a hard line. It should fall right where you want it, twist in, and then not have any issue, but it's not wanting to do that right now. So I'll let you know how this goes. Whatever rock light wire this is, I need you to unhook it so we can drop it lower. That's one that's hard to hard. This one is? No. You can't give me a little more slack on it to get it to come down a little bit? See it moving or no?
I'm gonna hook all of these.
No, we'll make it work the way it is then. We'll get it.
Am I pulling it?
No. Can you give me a 13? Where's the 13? Can you give me a 13? Thank you very much, sir. It should be on your ratchet somewhere.
I hate not to do something and these all go up together and tells his mama.
This one?
No, it's fine, buddy. I'm gonna get it out.
Teddy lives out there across the bridge and that
Is it just this one, maybe? I think your whole fender should be loose now. Is there one I'm missing somewhere?
Well, there's something up here. There's all these still hooked into the.
Is there 3 right there, or how many?
There's 3 or something.
Alright, y'all. This is just going to probably be a little section in the video. We're going to replace the headlight switch because the dimmer isn't working with the dash. Well, we figured out when we were trying to get the dash to illuminate that it wasn't working. So we're going to replace this. I might have to get the phone mount in here, but I'm going to try to one-hand this real quick. So what you want to do first is pull this out, and then inside here, there's this little button right here. Don't want to block it, but right there, you push down on that little button. Once you have pulled out on this, and you're not going to see it, but when you're pushing down, it'll just Alright, so basically, get a big head screwdriver. And, oh, see, that's, okay, it's working, never mind. It's going to have to be a really big head, because mine is just barely big enough to fit in between there. But I don't think it's got to be super tight. It doesn't necessarily have to be super tight when you screw it back on, so it shouldn't be that difficult to get on or off. But if your truck's old or sat outside, maybe had some rust or something going on, it might be more of a pain in the butt. But aside from that, mine twisted off easy. We'll just pull out, there it is. So that's the outer piece that screws in, and that's what it looks like inside there. Yeah. And so now with that loose, you can't really see inside here, but you just disconnect the connector, which mine's going to be a little bit stuck because it's been a while. But once you disconnect the connector, you have to look at your pins, because they do sell 2 different resistor switches, and you can see what's wrong with mine immediately. See how, like, as it spins, it doesn't keep any, there's no pressure. This spring over here broke on this side. So it's supposed to have a spring on each side that hold resistance against it, and mine is corroded right there, and when you twist it, it's just not even touching anything all the way along it. So yeah, that needs to be replaced. All right, this video has kind of been all over the place. I think there's a video clip of me taking out the headlight switch, which it's installed. I don't even think I recorded finishing that. The hardest part with that is just taking it out. That's literally your biggest problem, is trying to get it taken out. There's a time lapse of me working on the Ranger, I believe. Me and my friend Anthony were working on it. I got the transmission line ran, got the radiator in, and it appears, I don't want to say like one way or the other, guarantee one, you know, I don't want to guarantee like the worst or the best, but we're going to have to get it in the garage and check it for intake gasket or head gasket. It's steaming, the motor's steaming, and it's getting, I think it's getting water into the combustion chamber. Most likely head gasket, if I had to guess. But yeah, it's right back there. Ranger's down. It runs good until it warms up, and then once it warms up, it's steaming in the engine. It looks like it's coming out of the valve covers. And if you cut it off, because it starts to get hot, when you cut it off, or if it cuts itself off, which we don't let it get that hot, it'll just start, like once it heats up, water is getting into the cylinder, so it's making it run bad, and it'll cut off, or you cut it off before, then it won't crank up. It's like it's dieseling. Like, it's like the almost hydro lock. I don't know. Also, there's a time lapse of the Durango getting the fender put on it, and it was going good. It got dark. We had to stop recording the process of putting it on. Time lapse, taking it off, putting it on to a certain point. And then as little brother was putting everything back together, he kind of dropped the battery in the same place he previously had a dent before we smashed it in. So he's not very happy about that. Nobody's happy about the Ranger and the situation that's going on with it right now. Not really happy about the Durango, and I have still realistically, I have yet to get any more progress on the truck. So this is kind of just one of those all over the place. I recorded what I could, and whatever. I think probably the only thing in this video clip that might be worth anything is pulling the fenders at the junkyard, and I don't even know if that video clip is in this video. There's just a lot. It's been a lot of recording and trying to build up some content. We just really haven't had any content. It's been something to do, but no progress made. One step forward, 2 step back kind of stuff right now. Currently, I'm working on the lawnmower, which currently I'm trying to get this pulley straightened out right here. Over time, I guess the washer or the nut has backed out, or the bolt has bent over. So it's laying down and it's kicking the belts off, and it's shredding some belts. I got a new belt. I'm gonna try to straighten this out, and yeah, I'm gonna piddle with this and probably listen to some music. Won't record it. It's nothing crazy. It's just taking a nut loose and replacing it or tightening it up and straightening it out. I appreciate everyone who's watched the videos up until this point. We're up to like 65 subscribers. It's crazy. I never thought that anyone would subscribe to this channel. This was just kind of me doing my own thing and having fun working on my grandpa's truck. We're going to keep just trucking away at, whatever we're doing. I can't tell you day to day what it is, but I appreciate everyone who tunes in and watches the videos. If you have any feedback about any of the stuff that happened in this video, like the Ranger, the Durango, or whatever, just leave comments, subscribe, like, whatever, any of that stuff. It doesn't matter. I hope y'all enjoyed this video, and if you didn't, I really get it this time.